We're going to be doing U-joints today. As you can tell, mine are pretty bad. My carrier bearing's going bad too, so we're just going to drop the whole drive shaft and try and hurry up and get in the garage and get warm. These are a 12mm star. Sorry, actually I should go through this first. This is the rear drive shaft. These are where it connects to the transmission on the front. These bolts are a 12mm star. And then these bolts on the carrier bearing strap are a 9/16. Make sure to use a 9/16. You don't want to strip them out and get them stuck in there. The rear U-joint was held in by these clamps right there. The bolt holding those clamps in are 8mm. I've got half of the drive shaft dropped. I just have to figure out how to get it separated from the transmission. Seems like it's rusted on there pretty good, so I'm gonna take a pry bar to it and see if I can get it separated. So I ended up just giving her a few little love taps with the mallet. She popped right off of there. So we're gonna drag her out, get it in the garage and see what we can do. We got it in the garage. And that's good because it's real cold outside. I did not want to have to do this outside. I think we're going to start on this rear U-joint because it is only a single side that we have to press out instead of both sides. I've never done this before, so it's going to be a learning experience. I got a ball joint press. We're going to start with pulling these clips out on both ends. And then we'll put the ball joint press on it and see what we can do from here. And then after that, we'll come up and remove this whole section so we can get access to the carrier bearing, because I got a whole set of stuff to replace. We got a whole new spicer set. Really nice looking, and they have greaser spots so we can keep them serviced. So hopefully all my vibration's gonna be gone once we're done here. So we're gonna start by pinching these clips out on both sides. There was a lot of dirt in here. As you can see, I've had to scrape it all out and get it clean and ready to pull out in the first place. But you can just take yourself a set of needle nose pliers, kind of pinch them. Oh, popped it right out for you. There you go. Do the same on the other side. If you come across a situation where one of these clips are stuck, you're going to want to take a little flathead and smack it back and forth with a hammer on both ends before you try and pry it out. That'll break it free. Now, I think before we go any further, I'm going to sweep up my garage. I don't want to get any of this dirty stuff inside of where these U-joints are going to be pressed in. I got a little hole in the bottom of my garage, and a lot of stuff tends to blow in here, and I haven't been in here in a couple weeks, so it's all just kind of accumulated and made a big mess. So yeah, we're gonna clean that up and make sure that we have a good clean area to press these out and press our new ones into. All right, now that that's a little bit better, not such a mess around here, I went and picked up this ball joint press. I think that I might be able to just use this tool by itself without any of the attachments, but if I find out any different, I will let you guys know. We're gonna get it set up and then I'll be back. Oh yeah, so it looks like this side of the ball joint press is pretty much the same size as the ears. And this presses right up to the middle. I did not have a size socket that fits the ball joint press for my impact, so I just put a reducer on it. But we're gonna balance this out and see how it goes. I'll see if I can get you guys set up to get a good shot. That worked. Pushed it right into that cap. it was kind of a pain to get it lined up enough to where it wasn't going to bend anything, but once I got it started, it was a breeze. Just kind of pushed it right through. I'm going to put a set of vice grips on this, see if I can pull it off, and then we'll run it back out the other side, get the other cap off, and then put our new U-joint in. There we go, we've got our vice grips on, and I think if we just kind of wiggle it back and forth and pull a little bit, yeah, cap comes right off. Now we're gonna set this ball joint press up in reverse, do it again, pull the cap off the other side, and then we'll this ball joint will be free. There you go, as you can see, right through the other end, and yeah, give it a little push. Then we can loosen it back up. Oh, didn't loosen it far enough. My bad. And we'll stick the vice grips on this side again. Gotta drop the other ones. Come on. Okay, we'll stick the vice grips on this side again. Kind of wiggle it back and forth. Yeah. Now this should be able to just kind of... There we go. Whoa, you see? Just like that. That's what I'm talking about. Just makes a mess in here. It's okay though. We got a ball joint out. Now we'll press a new one in later. I think we're gonna focus on getting the rest of them out and trying to get this carrier bearing apart. Now we're gonna follow the same steps on all four sides on this U-joint and separate this whole section from the carrier bearing. Let's see if we can get another clip off for you guys. Ooh, that sparked. I don't know if you've seen that. Not making it look as easy as I did the first time, huh? There it goes. We'll turn the other end over. Get this side. This one is giving me problems. These caps will not come loose for some reason, so I'm gonna pull this one, pull them off, try to give me a little bit more room to work with, and then if I have to, I'm just gonna cut this one out of place. Oh yeah, I don't think I'm getting that off of there, so I'm gonna cut this cap off and then push it out of this side, see if I can work it out, and then I'll cut this end off while it's all pushed out of that side. See what I can do. So in the process of trying to cut that out, this cap actually came loose, so I'm gonna try pushing out the other end and seeing if I can get it out that way and not have to cut the rest of the way through this. All right, I got it pushed out the other side, and I think I can just if I wiggle it over here enough, yeah, there we go. We'll get it out that way. Set this over here, grab our vice grips, and try and get that cap off now, because it needs to come off too. There we go. All right, I think next up on the list is the carrier bearing. I got the yoke that connects to the transmission off, but in the process of pressing these out, both sides had the top of the cap explode. And she's stuck in there, so I am now in the process of actually cutting this one out. And then I'll show you guys how to press those caps out from the inside, because there was a third that exploded and I had to figure out how to get it out from the inside yesterday. That sucked. I had to cut all the way through it, but it fell out now. The way that I'm gonna try and push this out, actually, there's still... The way I'm gonna try to push this out is is a 13/16 socket and an extension. We're gonna drop the socket in the back end right there. Put the extension through the yoke. Let's see if I can actually do this on camera real quick. Put the socket in the back end like that. We'll take the extension, drop it through the yoke, push it onto the socket, just like that. And then this is how we're gonna beat these out of here. I'm not gonna be able to do this and hold the camera at the same time, so you guys are just gonna have to trust me. I'll come back when they're out and show you the finished product. Just like that. See that? Now we're gonna flip it around and do it through the other direction. Just push it right through. And it was that easy. We got them both pushed out. Now we're gonna clean these up and push some new U-joints back through. All right, so we've got one started. Got both clips in. Seems to be sitting pretty loose, which is good. This is how you want it. We're gonna take both caps off and drop this end over both caps, and then we're gonna have to press the caps in from the top like we were pressing them out. I'll kind of give you guys an idea here in just a second. Okay, so we're gonna take both caps off of these. We're gonna set them aside. And then we're gonna take this guy and make sure he comes up and over. Take one cap, drop it through the top a little bit. Make sure your cap sits down in there and don't bend any of the little rollers that are in there. Any of the, these pieces right here. If these fall over, you're gonna have a hell of a time pressing that cap in there. So we'll set this up. It's
Make sure it holds still.
yes, huh, baby.
So it doesn't fall off. So make sure it holds still without it. Put it down. Twist it.
Let's make sure we're even on the bottom. So we're pressing it in square. Start it up. And kind of just run it down. You go really slow if you're using an impact.
That scared me.
Did that scare you? I'm sorry, baby.
What's that tool?
Might try a hammer first, I think. Actually.
Wow.
Hammer into socket. We're gonna put another socket on the bottom. Let's see if we can find one big enough.
I mean, this is better. That's what we do. Okay, Dad?
Put another socket on the bottom to receive it. We're gonna put this socket on top. And we're just gonna tap it home. Make sure this socket is still receiving it, because we're driving it in. Oh yeah, it's doing good.
Hey, Dad.
Hold on, baby. Daddy's still doing his video, okay?
Okay.
I'm almost done though. And you just want to drive it down far enough to set. Your squeeze pin back in there. And I think we'll flip it around now and do it again from the other side and get the other side started.
Hi. I'm helping Daddy.
Yeah, I was thinking like that.
I got a video going. It's okay though. Anyway, just follow the same steps. Okay. She's doing good. All free, clean, all the way around. Clips on all of them. She's not fighting. Now we're gonna go set the rest of the U-joints while I still wait for the puller to come in Amazon. I'm hoping it comes before nighttime. So we're gonna start out by pulling our boot, if you have one, and then go ahead and pull this whole rubber piece off. From everything that I've seen, it looks like a pain, but you should be able to get it off. So I figured out a good way to pop this bushing off. I just kind of shoved a flathead all the way through the bushing, through these fins, and used it to pry on itself like that. And it gave me the leverage that I needed to pop it right off. Now in the process of pulling that rubber off the bearing, I realized that my puller I got is not long enough to reach that. So I'm gonna have to go pick up a new one before we do this next step. We've got it off. I had to grind it. There was no way around it. I did put a little gash in it though. It's not terrible, but a little gash. I'm not really worried about it though. I'm gonna assume that this has happened more than once, and this is not the weakest point of the drive shaft. So if I have a failure point, I don't think it's gonna be here. I'm just gonna press the new one on. So I just wanted to give a little idea on how I'm pressing this bearing back in. I have a 1 1/2 inch by 12 inch pipe, and I am just using this mallet right here to smack it till it's all the way seated. Again, I'm not gonna be able to do this while holding the phone, but you get the idea. And I'll show you what it looks like fully seated. And we're all pressed on. Yeah, a little bit of a gap where it's supposed to sit back there. Dust shield pressed back on. I think we're good to go. Okay, we are all installed and just waiting to tighten up. Make sure you install it just as you pulled it out, and you should be ready to go.